Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining OACAC for our virtual college exploration. We're excited to have you joining us and hope that you learn a lot over the next 45-minute session. During this webinar, your cameras and microphones are off, so the presenter cannot hear or see you. However, we would love for you to ask questions using the Q&A function on the Zoom chat. As a reminder, you can explore future sessions by checking out oacac.org, and a recording of this session will be available on the website as well. At this time, I will turn it over to Moravian College.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Allison Remsing, and I am the Director of Undergraduate Recruitment at Moravian College. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about everything that Moravian has to offer you. So right now, I just want to give you a heads up on kind of what our situation is in terms of COVID. So our students are currently on campus. They have a mixture of their classes between hybrid, in-person, and virtual. We have a ton of safety precautions put in place, and we have our sports teams practicing, our clubs and organizations up and running. And one thing we are excited about is that we are still doing in-person tours. We're also doing virtual tours as well. So lots of different options for students because we want you to be comfortable with your decision. So a little bit about Moravian. We are a liberal arts college. So we really truly value a well-rounded education for our students. So our students will come in, they will take courses within their major, they'll take courses within the liberal arts requirements, and they'll also be elective spaces. So we really believe that our curriculum is perfect for students that have no idea what they want to study, students that know exactly what they want to study, and students that can change their mind at any point during their college career. We also really value everything that's going on in the world, and we want to educate our students to be prepared for going out into the real world. So we do have a program that is called In Focus, and that is an all-campus program in which every year we're changing the topic that the whole entire campus is kind of diving into through lectures and guest speakers and reading. And the 4 topics that we cycle through are sustainability, healthcare, peace and justice, and war and peace and social justice. So obviously those topics are all super important to what is going on in the world today. And we really value that our students are prepared to walk into that world. So our roots are definitely deep. We were founded in 1742. So before the United States was the United States, Moravian College was educating students. So we were founded by the Moravians, which is a religious group that came over from Eastern Europe seeking religious freedom. They came to what they founded as Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and soon after they started developing the town, they realized they really wanted to have a well-educated society because they knew that was the key to being successful. So in the other colleges that were older than us, they were educating men. Moravian was being a little bit revolutionary because they decided to educate the women. Their thought process was the women are in the homes with the children, and we want the children to be educated from little on. So they first started educating the women. Soon thereafter, they did start a men's college, and they kept those 2 campuses separate for over 200 years. And then in 1954, we did become the first co-educational institution in the Lehigh Valley, and I'll talk a little bit about the Lehigh Valley very soon. But one other fun fact about Moravian is we were the first college to educate Native Americans in their own language. So we didn't force the Native Americans to learn English. We taught them in their own language. So the Moravians learned their language and then taught them. So I think that we were really doing groundbreaking things in the 17 and 1800s. So we are located in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So Bethlehem, Pennsylvania is about an hour north from Philadelphia, and it's an hour and a half to New York City. So we are very close to the Pennsylvania-New Jersey border, and the Lehigh Valley makes up the third largest metropolitan area in the state of Pennsylvania. So after Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. So the Lehigh Valley is comprised of 3 cities and suburbs. So there's Bethlehem, so that's us. We are in the middle. And then there is Allentown to the east, or Allentown to the west, and Easton to the east. So we all make up the Lehigh Valley. So I will say that it's a great place to go to college because you do get the best of both worlds. So we are in a smaller city, but you get 10 minutes away from campus, and there is cornfields, there is nature, there's mountains, there's trails. So we really do have a great environment where we are. And Bethlehem itself is the Christmas city. So they've already started. So every November and December, the whole city is lit up. We have little huts all over our downtown area with little vendors. It's just a wonderful place during the Christmas holiday. And we end up being named as one of the best Christmas areas in the country. So definitely something worth checking out. We also have a lot of festivals that go on in the city of Bethlehem. So we have the largest free music festival in the United States happens there. We have fall festivals, we have spring festivals. There's just always something to do in Bethlehem. So it does make for a great place. We do have 2 campuses. So earlier I spoke about how we had a men's college and a women's college. So that is represented by the 2 campuses. The Main Street campus was originally the men's campus, and that houses the bulk of our academic departments, as well as our athletic complexes, our student union building, our library, and our administration. And then the Priscilla Payne Hurd campus, that was originally the women's campus. That currently houses the president's house. Our bookstore is very close to that, our art and our music department, as well as some residential facilities. There is 0.8 of a mile in between the 2 campuses. It's very easy walk, but our students tend to hop on the shuttle. So we have shuttles that go back and forth in between the 2 campuses all day and into the night, into the late night. And students also drive in between the 2 campuses. But all of the little restaurants and shops are right off of that Priscilla Payne Hurd campus. So our students frequent that area. One thing I also wanted to mention when I say that we're located in the Lehigh Valley, there are other institutions in the Lehigh Valley. So we're all a part of a consortium. So what it's called is the Lehigh Valley Association of Independent Colleges. So we also have Lehigh University, Lafayette College, Muhlenberg College, DeSales University, and Cedar Crest College. We also have a satellite campus for Penn State. So there's a lot of college students in the Lehigh Valley. With the schools within the consortium, our students are able to cross-register and take courses at those other institutions. We are on the north side of Bethlehem, and Lehigh University is on the south side of Bethlehem. So we definitely have students that take advantage of taking courses over at Lehigh. And all of the students are able to do social activities together as well. And the schools all share resources. Right now, under COVID, things are a little bit different than they normally would be, but there is a lot of camaraderie between the institutions. So this is showcasing our campus, some parts of our campus. So the picture that you'll see in the center, that is our original building from the 1700s. Very fun historical fact about that building. George Washington did utilize that as a hospital during the Revolutionary War. We do have a George Washington room in there where he met with his officers. And supposedly that building is haunted. So we have made it on Reader's Digest most haunted colleges in the country. I have not seen anything, but I have definitely heard stories because that top floor of that building has not really been utilized since the Revolutionary War. So there are some ghosts on that campus. And in a normal year, we do run ghost tours through there. So it's just fun. So then right next to that building is the newest building on our campus. So you have a building from the 1700s, and then you have a building that is less than 5 years old. So that is what we call the Sally. And the Sally houses our nursing department, our computer science department, and our math department. It really was built as a home for our nursing department. Within that building, there are 3 simulation labs. So there is a low definition simulation lab that looks like a hospital wing that has 12 beds. There is a high definition simulation lab that has 2 mannequins that are controlled by a faculty member within a control room that do all kinds of fun stuff. There's also a birthing simulation lab with a mannequin that does give birth, as well as different size babies and an incubator. And we also have a virtual cadaver lab, which is the picture you see in the center. So we're really doing a lot with the sciences, which is fantastic. Also in the Sally, you'll see out on the front, there's some lights with like a yellow color to them. That is our cafe. So that is Delight's Cafe. It does have Starbucks products. So that's a popular place for our students to swing by before an early morning class, or just sit out on the tables and enjoy an afternoon. There's lots of study rooms in that building as well. And it's very popular with our students. So we're really just showcasing the fact that we have our historical roots from the 1700s, but we're making sure that we are up to date and giving students a completely modern education. So a little bit about our student body. We have just under 1,900 undergraduate day students. So the average class size at Moravian is 17, and the student to faculty ratio is 11:1. So our students get a lot of individualized attention. And I always say we're definitely not an institution where you can hide in the back of the classroom and not participate. Class participation and attendance are almost always a part of your grade. And because of our smaller class sizes, you really are going to form relationships with the faculty. Our faculty give you office hours, email addresses, phone numbers. They want to see you. If you're doing well in their class and you are interested in learning more about the topic, they want to know that. They want to help you excel. If you're struggling a little bit, they want to help you with that as well. So we're not an institution where we're looking to weed out the weaker students. We're really looking to raise all of our students up a few levels from where they were at when they came in. So our students do take 4 credit courses, so they're carrying 16 credits. So a typical schedule at Moravian, you might have 2 classes that run Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then you might have 2 classes that run Tuesday, Thursday, and then you might have your science lab if you're taking a science course for 3 hours, 1 day a week. So it's a lot less time in the classroom than you're used to in high school, but it's a lot more work to do outside of the classroom. All of our first year students do have a first year faculty advisor that helps you in the selection of your courses. And then once students declare their major, you will have an academic advisor within that particular department helping you pick your courses. Students aren't able to register without meeting with their advisor first, and that's done so that way you're not taking anything you don't need to be taking, and you're taking everything in the right order. We do not want students taking a 5th or 6th year unless they're working on a master's degree. So we do have over 55 different academic majors and programs at Moravian. And I will say we do have a number of students that come in undecided, but as I said earlier, there's a lot of room within the curriculum for our students to move around change their mind with their majors. So the 2 programs that we do need you to know right away that you're studying are nursing or music. Nursing has specific requirements, and our nursing and our music program does require an audition. So I would say right now our biggest programs are health sciences, nursing, the natural sciences, business, education, music, psychology, sociology, but we also have a lot of programs within the humanities. So history, English, philosophy. We really do have something for all of our students. We have over 100 clubs and organizations on campus, and that number goes up every year. And that's really driven by what students are interested in. So everything from community service organizations, fraternities, sororities, cultural organizations, religious organizations, things based off of academic programs. So there's really something for everyone to get involved in. We do have 22 varsity NCAA Division III sports, and about 35% of our students do play on a varsity team. This is just showing our students from the past. Obviously, we've been educating students for a very long time. And we're continuing today to make sure our students have everything that they need in the classroom, regardless of what type of classroom that is. So whether it's a music student, an art student, a science student, an education student, you have what you need to be successful. So all of our students receive a MacBook Pro, an iPad, and an Apple Pen. So this was an initiative that we've had going for quite a few years now. Our current president, President Grigsby, realized that we attract students from a variety of socioeconomic backgrounds. So he wanted to level the playing field and make sure that everyone has the technology they need to be successful. So our students receive this at the end of their senior year when they make the commitment to come to Moravian College, and then it goes with them when they graduate from Moravian. We are an Apple distinguished school, which means Apple likes what we're doing with the technology, and it has really come in handy with everything going on with COVID. We have a very strong wireless connection at Moravian, so all of our students can be online and doing things without any hiccups. And because of the technology, our students can sit outside and do their schoolwork, watch a lacrosse game and do their schoolwork, because you can really go anywhere with that equipment. So obviously you're getting a lot of experience in the classroom, but there's also a lot of experience that you can gain outside of the classroom. So at Moravian, we have partnered together Civic Engagement and the Career Center to form one office of this as the Center for Career and Civic Engagement that is purposely placed inside of our student union building so that you cannot walk to our dining hall without running into that office, because we want you to go in there early and we want you to go in there often. So it's a great place for students that have no idea what they want to study and want to start getting some guidance and doing some assessments and finding out what they're passionate about. And it's also good for students that know what they want to do and want to start exploring that further. So we set students up with internships, externships, connecting them with alumni in the areas that they're interested in to do some job talks. Tons of programming going on out of that office. We want to help you have a game plan. So we don't want you waiting until second semester, senior year of college to really start thinking about your future. We want you doing that early. We have study abroad programs for students. So those can be semester long. They can be over spring break, which are faculty-led trips. There's also summer trips. We offer students the ability to do undergraduate research in a few different ways. So some of those are paid stipends where you're working individually with faculty. Some of those, such as our honors projects, those are really driven by the student. So it's the student doing the research, being guided by the faculty. For our education students, we're getting you out in the classroom as early as freshman year, because we want you testing the waters and seeing, okay, is education something I like or is it something that I don't like? So we don't want that to be something you realize junior or senior year. We want you to try that early. And then for our nursing students, we do get you out into the hospitals starting sophomore year. So that's typically earlier than a lot of other programs. Sophomore year, you're going into St. Luke's University Network Hospital, which is the biggest network in the Lehigh Valley. So you're going there 1 day a week during sophomore year, and then during junior and senior year, you're going there 2 days a week. So a lot of over 1,000 clinical hours. We also have a lot of student employment opportunities for our students. So that's really great job experience for you. You're having a supervisor on campus that you're forming a relationship with. You're getting a paycheck. And in some cases, it's really going to lead students to what they're going to be doing in the future. Because of all of these different things, over 98% of our students are employed or in graduate school within 10 months of graduating. So when you're not in your clubs and when you're not doing your schoolwork and when you're not in your classes and when you're not playing your sports, we do want you to enjoy your time, because college is, yes, definitely Number one, most about academics, but we also want you to enjoy the experience. So we do a lot in terms of programming for our students, and it's really student driven. We have an organization on campus called MAC, and that stands for the Moravian Activities Council. And they really plan a ton of events every semester for our students to participate in. I'm going to play a video that is going to showcase some of those activities. I will say right now with COVID going on, there are definitely some restrictions to what our students are able to do from a programming perspective, but they are doing events every weekend so that our students are enjoying themselves.
Knew a rapper named Judas, full name Judas Judas. We used to roll in the neighborhood, girls thought he was the cutest. Had a buddy named Bache, nicknamed Bache Ballin'. Can't stop, won't stop, hitting them hot spots every time Bache came calling. Back then we just had dreams, constant plans and crazy schemes. Wasn't on life like Ben's a dream, endless future fantasies. Fast forward to today, me and the boys, yeah, we still play. Dreams became reality.
So you might have noticed Benny and Mo on that last slide. Those are the president's dogs. So our mascot is the Greyhounds. So right after President Grigsby got to Moravian, he adopted Mo, and then a few years later, he adopted Benny. So you will see those dogs all over campus, and our faculty and staff are able to bring their dogs to work. They do stay in the faculty's office, so it's not going to be a dog in your classroom, but it does make for a nice environment. And one thing that was not touched upon in the slides is we do have, it is a very residential campus. Over 65% of our students live on campus, 35% of our students commute. First year students are in traditional residence halls where it's 2 people per room. And then our upperclassmen are in college provided townhouses, apartments, and suites. So there are a lot of options for students. So a little bit about the admissions process. We have made it as easy as possible. Our application opened on August 1st. We do accept the common application, or you can apply through the Moravian College application. We do not have an application fee, so it is free to apply to Moravian. What we need in the application. So we need an official high school transcript. We need 1 letter of recommendation from either a school counselor or an academic teacher. And we also need the personal essay or writing sample. We are test optional this year for all applications except for our nursing students. Anyone applying to our nursing program does need to include SAT or ACT scores, and you should be in contact with your admissions counselor to discuss if you were not able to take those SAT or ACTs. We do know that that has been a challenge for our students this year. Our application deadlines, early decision and nursing priority, are both November 15th. So that is coming up. However, we are rolling. So our students, we started sending out answers the beginning of October. So once your application is complete, we are reviewing it that day and getting you an answer within a week. So we are very responsive when it comes to getting decisions out. We know that you're waiting on these. So we're really fast with that. But we do really like to get to know our students throughout the process. So we highly encourage students to do a Zoom interview with us so that we can get to know you while we're going through the application process with you. And then financial aid, everyone's favorite topic. So the FAFSA opened on October 1st. So the FAFSA stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. So I want to be clear, Moravian does award merit scholarships based off of the application for admission. So when you're admitted, you do know what that scholarship looks like. The next piece of the puzzle is filling out that FAFSA. These timelines have kind of changed because we are ahead of the game. So we started sending out financial aid awards this week. So November 2nd, families started receiving financial aid awards because, again, we're trying to be as responsive as possible with everything going on through COVID. We have merit scholarships that range from $20,000 to $28,000. So we are working to make it more affordable for our students right off the bat with those scholarships. I will say tuition, room and board is $62,500, but 99% of our students are receiving scholarships, so nobody's paying that $62,500. We are also able to give out institutional need-based financial aid. So that's Moravian College grant money coming specifically from Moravian, and we're also able to give out federal need-based financial aid. So we do work to make it a lot more affordable for as many students as possible. And we work very closely with our financial aid office, and our financial aid office is very happy to speak with families at any step in the process throughout the financial aid application, once awards are received, and also go over financing options. So that is the end of my presentation. I would highly encourage all of you to check out our website, www.moravian.edu. As I said, we are doing virtual tours, we're doing in-person tours, we're doing virtual information nights where you get to interact with current students, and we're doing Zoom interviews. So we would definitely love to meet with you. Thank you for listening today.
We would like to thank you all for joining us again today. Once you close this window, a very quick 4-question survey will appear on your screen. As a reminder, you can view a recording of this session and sign up for many more sessions at oacac.org. And we hope that you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.